annual meeting of the Residents Association to order. You have got a copy of the agenda. It was sent to you by email or by your mailboxes, or you picked it up, or all three. So could I have an acceptance vote for the agenda? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Our agenda is adopted. And now, I'm gonna deviate from our agenda because our director has asked me to, and you know, I know where I live and I know who's in charge of that. So, I of course said, of course, David, you're welcome to introduce our three new employees, but I will deduct it from your allotted time. So as long as they go, David has to cut his proportion. So, David. All right.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Happy holidays. Good to see you all. Since the end of October, you've received 3 management updates from me. It's been a busy several weeks at Mercy Ridge with bringing in some new talent to our organization. And to put a face with the name, I thought this would be a perfect opportunity for those 3 individuals to come up and introduce themselves to you. So we're going to start with Brandon, who is our new Director of Facilities. Brandon?
How you doing? I've been here 2 weeks. Been at Mercy for almost 3 years downtown. I was a contractor, HVAC contractor before that, so I have a lot of HVAC and plumbing experience. I live in New Freedom, Pennsylvania, not too far from here, and I look forward to meeting and getting to know all of you.
He's got HVAC experience. I know we have no heating and air conditioning issues at Mercy Ridge. He's not a technician for elevators, but we've got someone else working on that. So, all right. Next, I'd like to introduce Kenya Rock, who is our new environmental service supervisor.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kenya Rock. I do have environmental services background. My background is mostly hospitality from hotels. I have been here, I think, maybe 6 weeks, and I enjoy it. I'm loving it so far. Meeting all the residents. I always look at the name tags because it's a lot of people to meet, a lot of names to remember. I do enjoy it here, and anything that I can do to help, please give me a call, extension 488. I do answer the phone. I do return calls, and I try to take care of everything within the 24 hours. I am from Baltimore, Maryland, and I'm probably maybe 25 minutes away. Thank you for having me.
And last but not least, our first IT manager, Doug Gardner.
First is scary. David knows how much I can speak, so he told me to keep it short. I've been here for 5 weeks. I've grown up in the area. All my life raised a family. We're about 20 minutes right now in Parkton. I think some of you saw the write-up in the newsletter about me, and the thing that I've noticed about this community is how nice everyone is. The employees, the residents, it just seems like a great place. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is our declaration of election. Tom Sherrick served as our chairperson of the nominating committee. Tom.
Thank you, Luke. Now, for those of you who have been here a few years, you may be wondering, why are we doing this in December instead of September. And that's typically when our bylaws say we do the election and then hold the election and announce the results. Well, this year we ran into a few problems. There were a couple of wing reps positions that we were having great difficulty in finding nominees for. But we persevered and we did find nominees for all of the positions. So I just wanted to let you know that. And we're going to proceed now with a notice of the nominees and the official election. The Residents Association Bylaws, Article 4, Section 2 specifies that wing reps shall be elected biennially in odd number years. And I think we can all agree this has been an odd year. Section 3 of the bylaw states that a nominating committee of 5 members shall be elected by the council, and that 3 members of the nominating committee shall be residents who are not members of the council. The council elected the following residents to the 2025 nominating committee: myself, Fran Green, Gene Siciliano. We 3 are the non-council members. And the council members were Linda Fogel, Dan Hardesty, and I was selected as the chair. The bylaws also permit residents to offer nominations from the floor, provided that the nominee shall, if present, agree to serve if elected, or if absent, shall have agreed in writing to serve if elected. And if there's only one nominee for an office, the nominee shall be declared elected, and no election shall be held for that office. However, there will be an election for any office for which there is more than one nominee. After the slate of nominees is announced, you'll have the opportunity to either nominate yourself or another resident for any of those offices. All right, and following is the slate of nominees for the wing reps for the 2026-2027 term. For the office of wing rep for Liffey A, Liz Masterson. Are there any other nominations for the office of wing rep for Liffey A? Hearing none, Liz is elected. For Liffey B, Walt Brookshank has been nominated. Are there any other nominations for the office of Liffey B wing? Hearing none, Walt Brookshank is elected. Yes?
Brooks, Bank.
Brooks Bank. I'm sorry about that. Thank you. For the office of Liffey C wing rep, Wheezy Brown. Are there any other nominations for the office of Liffey C wing rep? Hearing none, Wheezy is elected. For Killarney D wing, Linda Compton has been nominated. Are there any other nominees for the office of Liffey D wing rep? Hearing none, Linda Compton is elected. And for Shannon E, Barbara Siciliano has been nominated. Are there any other nominees for the office of Shannon E wing rep? Hearing none, Barbara Siciliano has been elected. For Shannon F wing, Spence Liskey has been nominated. Are there any other nominations for the office of Shannon F wing rep? Hearing none, Spence Liskey is elected. And for Shannon G, Steve Lackner has been nominated. And are there any other nominees for Shannon G wing? Hearing none, Steve Lackner is nominated. And that concludes the nomination election process. And I want to thank all the nominees and also the other members of the nominating committee, Dan Hardesty, Linda Fogel, Gene Siciliano, and Fran. And I just have one other comment that I'd like to make, and that is in relation to the difficulty in having people agree to be nominees for the offices for the association. I know in my own experience over the last 6 years, it is work, but it's also very enjoyable. And it's a great way of meeting new residents, making new friends, and learning more about what makes this place tick and what makes this place a great place to live. So I really would encourage residents to consider serving in the various offices, if not on the council, then at least on committees, because you do learn an awful lot about what makes this place tick. So I hope all of you will take that to heart. Thank you very much.
Now I'm going to have the report from the officers. To consolidate time, I have asked my 4 other officers of the council to submit reports to me, and they have. The main one, that is probably the most important is, well, everybody's important, but the one that everybody waits for is to hear the treasurer's report. Our general fund balance on January 1st, 2025 was $561.30. During the first 11 months of 2025, the general fund received 2 donations totaling $100, and we earned a big 4 cents of interest on that income. Therefore, as of November 30th, 2025, the Residents Council's general fund balance was $661.34. The Environmental Landscape Committee Fund balance on January 1st was $657.38. During 2025, there was a total withdrawal of $146.53 for the purchase of garden supplies. Therefore, as of November 30th, the Environmental Landscape Committee Fund was $510.85, and we thank Doug for his diligence. My report is short. This is the association committee meeting, and you'll notice us committee people aren't sitting up here facing you, because this is the association's meeting. And we are, because of our bylaws, we are all members of the association. And so that's why we're sitting with you sitting, because we are members of the association. The meeting we had in September, we were sitting here in a horseshoe shape, because that was a council meeting. Doesn't matter to a whole lot of people, but that's the difference. I now ask Rich to please do Vice President's report.
Thank you, Luke, and good afternoon, everyone. What my responsibility is as Vice President is to give you the consolidated Wings report. This is a summary and consolidation of all of the issues raised by members of our community among the various wings. So with that having been said, there are lots of positive things that have been going on here. There's lots of continued appreciation was given for the attractiveness of the hallway and lounge renovations, as well as the thoughtfulness of the Whiting Turner team completing the work for us. A good deal of support was expressed for the proposed changes in Phase 2 of the master plan, and this would include the enclosure of the walkway outside the Delaney Room to create a connection between the Killarney wing and the rest of the campus, as well as the retention of the current locations of the library and dining venues. I'm going to step outside the formal report and just say these two are clear and important examples of how the administration listens to the residents. I hear occasionally, it doesn't matter what we say, they're going to do what they want to do anyway. Well, having been on the committee that looked into the renovations, I can tell you that what you're seeing on Liffey with the new wings and lounges was very much impacted by the residents, and we should all be grateful that we have an administration that's willing to take our ideas and put them into play. Likewise, a lot of concern about the library being moved and other changes. We ask and they listen. I just think it's important for us as residents to remember that. There's always something to complain about. When you don't get 98% occupancy, you don't get 90+% resident satisfaction, and you don't get long waiting lists if the administration is not listening. There's still room for improvement, but I think it's important to recognize that. Many thanks were given for the Veterans Breakfast, various support groups, and the trip to the Sight and Sound production of Noah. Residents are finding the hall dinners to be much more fun with, again, the free drinks, but surprise raffles, fresh baked goods, and surprise visits by the Director of Culinary Services. Kudos to staff and floor representatives for that. Never have a month go by without some thoughtful concerns. There is continued concern about the condition of the chairs in the bistro dining venue. This presents a shabby look that is not reflective of the overall quality of our community and can't wait for phase 2 renovation. Administration has indicated a desire to look at this. We would encourage them to move up the timetable on that. In a similar vein, elevator breakdowns, you've all heard that there have been a couple, right? Are a regular frustration that can, and they wonder what anything can be done to expedite the renovation project, and this would be appreciated. Residents would appreciate an update on the plan to replace the apartment key locks with swipe cards. What's planned, when is it planned, why is it planned, what's it going to cost, that kind of thing. Here then, finally, are a list of creative wing ideas. While residents understand the importance of testing the emergency generator, it is suggested that it be better if the tests were conducted, say, at 11 o'clock rather than at 8:30 after residents are up and about. An idea? Okay. Residents appreciate the display of pictures of residents whom we have lost, but it is located in a place that may be off-putting to potential residents on their first visit to the community. It is hoped that some thought may be given to an alternative and appropriate location. A number of residents find it difficult. Oh, this is for the ladies, so men, you can talk amongst yourselves. The residents find it difficult to use the soap and paper towel dispensers in the women's bathrooms. I hope none of you men are in there. Some thought should be given to the relocation of these items to more accessible areas for shorter residents and those with walkers, a reasonable request. And finally, it's been suggested that tissues be added to the women's bathrooms and that hand sanitizers be added to the card room. Many sanitizers have been added. There's another place where the administration responded. The request was to have them by elevators. They're by elevators. So this is just one more thought. This is more for administration to hear than for us. That would conclude my report.
Now we're going to go into uncharted territory for me. We are going to amend bylaws. It seemed like a simple idea. There is no such thing. I have learned, much to my chagrin. So let me start reading. Whereas, Article 9, Section 1 of the bylaws of the Mercy Ridge Residents Association establishes both an environmental landscape committee and a sustainability committee as standing committees of the association. And whereas the intended mandate of these two committees substantially overlap, especially in the areas of environmentally responsible maintenance, preservation, and improvement of Mercy Ridge campus and facilities. And whereas the Sustainability Committee's original purpose of guiding the association towards LEED certification has been successfully fulfilled, and no ongoing specialized functions remain that require a separate standing committee. And whereas during the trial integration period, remaining members of the Sustainability Committee participated in the meetings of the Environmental Landscape Committee with productive and well-coordinated results. And whereas the consolidation of the two committees will reduce redundancy, simplify committee administration, and make better use of resident volunteer time and talent, and along with the staff members who have to count. So I move that the bylaws amended, which was adopted by our council at the meeting held on November 6th, to amend Article 9, Sections 1, 2, and 6, be ratified. I would like to call for a vote as proper written and digital notice has been given, and the amendment is now before you for ratification. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? I successfully navigated my first bylaw change. I doubt that'll ever happen in my career again. We're now going to move to the real heart of the meeting. Each of the chair people, or the designee, is going to give a report on their committee's activity. So, Tom had mentioned, not only being a wing rep, but also being a member of a committee. It's a wonderful way to get to know people, get to be involved in the community. And so, the chair people of each committee are going to come up and give their report. A part of my being is scared about this is I'm going to invite Tom Shirk back to the podium.
The one piece of paper, 2 sides. 14-point font. I want to start by seconding our welcome to, even though they've left, our new staff, particularly Brandon Zumbrun, our new Director of Facilities, and Kenya Rock, Environmental Services Supervisor, who are involved with our Building Maintenance Committee. And at our meeting a couple of weeks ago, where they were both present, I wish them both success and longevity with us. Also, I wanted to congratulate, although I don't believe he's here either right now, Mike Marisi on his promotion from Renovations Project Manager to Assistant Director of Facilities. And to thank Mike, as well as the staff of the Maintenance Department and the Environmental Services Department, for all they've done to maintain Mercy Ridge as a wonderful place to live during this year of challenge and change. Staff have continued providing a high level of service for our community. And in the most recent resident satisfaction survey, they earned a 93% satisfaction rating. Also, my thanks go to the 12 members of our committee, the Building Maintenance Committee. And we welcome 4 new members this year: Bill Bilo, Mike McCarthy, Tony Koneski, and Jim Redifer. Our committee functions as additional sets of eyes and ears to address the issues and concerns of residents with David and the staff of the Maintenance and Environmental Services Departments. And as we all know, 2025 has been a year of changes, improvements, and renovations. There have been approximately 40 apartment renovations in 2025, of which 25 have been full renovations. And also a full renovation of St. Stephen's Green is nearing completion. As we all know, phase 1 of the master plan is underway. The renovation of the residential hallways, lounges, and elevator lobbies began on August 5th on the 7th floor where Luke and I live. We survived that, and the 6th and 5th floors have been completed except for some minor punch list items. And work has begun on the 4th floor. We're making good progress and even a little ahead of schedule. Most residents I've spoken with are very pleased with the new look. The workers have been great, very professional, courteous, quiet, very safety conscious. They clean up and vacuum at the end of each day, and equipment and materials are not left sitting around, but stored in the lounge areas at the end of each day. The noises have not been too bad. Most noise occurs during removal of and replacement of wood flooring and trim, and during drywall sanding. And when they're working on your floor, it's a good idea to use the peephole in your door before walking out into the hallway so as to avoid any accidents. And also, it's best not to interrupt workers with a lot of questions and advice. Yeah. And I'm sure we can all celebrate the fact that the renovation and modernization of Elevator 4 has just started. Can I hear an amen? Some of the other projects that have been completed this year are as follows. The building automation system, which controls the heating and air conditioning in the common areas, is now fully functional. 6 common area restrooms have been renovated. The leaky window screens were replaced. Hot water heaters were replaced in all 3 buildings, and new handrails were installed in the courtyard and Shannon garages. Balconies were power washed. The brickwork stains between the second floor balconies and first floor patios were cleaned, and the pool deck surface cracks were repaired. Now, several of those projects were requested by residents and were addressed by our committee meetings, and others were part of the capital plan. But the point that I want to emphasize there is along the lines of what Rich mentioned. We expressed a resident concern, and our director and our maintenance departments responded, and we were very appreciative of that. One of the issues that our committee addressed at several meetings this year was resident disposal of trash, recyclables, and things we no longer want or need. Now, living in a community as we do, we all share the common areas, the elevators, hallways, dining venues, mailroom, packed pub, storage rooms, cart rooms, and trash rooms. And it all requires a certain amount of etiquette and considerate behavior. So please follow the directions on the signs posted in the trash rooms and distributed to all residents. And if you need help, please contact the Environmental Services Department. The work of the Maintenance Department and the Environmental Service Department, as well as the significant capital improvements that we've seen in our community, help to protect our investments of our lives and our financial resources that we've made here at Mercy Ridge. And we are fortunate that the Mercy Ridge Board, as well as David and our staff, work hard to maintain and enhance Mercy Ridge as a wonderful place to live, and we thank them for all they do. Thank you.
Jerry Buckley, Chair of Dining Committee.
Good afternoon, everyone. The American flag is missing. All we have is the Maryland flag. Oh, okay. We all know that this time of the year, Santa Claus is quite busy. Well, there's a group of people here that are even busier than Santa Claus, and that's the kitchen people, who not only feed more than 500 of us every day, but the onslaught of parties. I mean, no matter what floor you go on, no matter where there's a party going on someplace, which is a good sign. Michael, excuse me, our culinary director, had shared some thoughts that he asked me to share with you. Next Thursday, December the 11th, is the big Christmas party. And it will start here in the PAC at 3 o'clock. The pub will not be opened at 3 o'clock. The pub will be used for an overflow, and it will open at 3:30. No one will be permitted in the pub prior to 3:30. The rationale was some people were in there at 1 o'clock to save the tables, and that's not what it was meant for. But it'll have the entire menu and the complimentary drinks in the pub, and that will close at 5 o'clock also. At the present time, there are 4 openings for line cooks. This does have an impact with the scheduling and covering all the extra events. One of the events that was scheduled for Saturday was the pizza at lunch, and that will be canceled because of the lack of staff. However, it has been rescheduled for January when they have fewer parties to cater. Please fill in the comment cards. We really do look at them. We go over the pros and the cons, and many of the issues that are raised is part of the discussion of the committee. So I encourage you, if you have negative concerns, put them down, but also we like to hear the positive ones. Because of the additional workload of the staff during this holiday season, one of the things that we all have to do is exercise patience. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you.
Employee Appreciation Committee, Jackie Trout.
Good afternoon. Luke asked us to focus on future plans, not past projects. But the Employee Appreciation Committee is a one-trick pony. Our past, present, and future are the same. We only exist to give residents the opportunity to show employees that they appreciate their work in caring ways by giving to a fund for thank you checks twice a year in June and December. And let me tell you, they really do appreciate this. They write us cards, bring us candy, as well as verbally thank us. So what you do is appreciated. That said, I'd like to thank my committee, especially Joanne Brown and Judy Keys, for the work they did to make this fall's fund drive the best yet. But also many thanks to the kind and generous residents of Mercy Ridge for showing how much you appreciate the staff and what they do to contribute to making Mercy Ridge the exceptional place it is. Now the numbers. Our fall campaign raised a record $102,935. This will be distributed to our employees on December 15th. And I'd like to make the note that since it was decided to cancel the contract for some of the environmental services employees and add to staff, we are now experiencing a record number of employees that we are distributing our checks to. Instead of the 267 that we distributed in June, it's 280 in December. So the extra money obviously helps. 80% of the independent residents, independent living residents, gave $93,045 of that total, which represents 80% of the total. So thank you all very, very much. The rest came from assisted living and in memory of and in honor of donations. So the total funds raised for the year, both our spring and our fall campaign, comes to $194,915. Can we do it again next year? we can certainly try. The staff and the committee, thank you all, and Merry Christmas.
Environment, landscape, and legal, and sustainability.
Thank you, Luke. I am going to focus on future plans, but there's also some really good news on what we've done this year. Tom Shurik, our master gardener here, has asked me to say just a few words about the raised gardens and give you some ideas how successful that's been this year. The reason that I'm involved in it at all is because our committee did work with management to make it happen. And we've now turned it over to the residents who are gardeners. But it's been very successful. We had 21 residents participating this year in maintaining 16 raised garden beds. Mercy Ridge funded this, and in addition have added a shed, a garden cart, and tools for the gardeners, so we get ongoing support from management on this. Not all of the gardeners will participate next year. The way we set this up is that if you have a raised garden bed, it's yours until it's not. But we have 2 garden plots that will be available for new gardeners, and keep your eyes focused on the February news flash for more information on that and how to sign up. Haley Kratz will be organizing several presentations by actual master gardeners in 2026 on such topics as vegetable gardening, raised bed gardening, pollinators in the garden, and gardening in the golden years. And these will all be announced, and they're open to the public, and you're certainly welcome to attend. You've probably noticed that the butterfly garden has been out of commission for many months now, as we prepare to add a water feature and an entire new planting scheme. A firm date for the opening of this hasn't been set, but the garden will be ready for new plantings when the weather is right. And it's going to be very exciting. I think you'll really enjoy it. We hope to have added electrical capacity in the front garden this coming spring. Once we have this capacity, we will be able to finish work on the new filtration system, and you'll see a real difference in the water quality in the top pond. Excuse me. We will continue to work with David on the second year of the development of the flower meadow between the Clarney Building and Pot Spring Road. If Mother Nature cooperates with timely rain, as she did this year, our second year of wildflower growth should be absolutely spectacular. Our committee will also be working on integrating the sustainability initiatives into our activity, and that will include such things as continuing the pill disposal event that we're all used to. And we'll keep you updated on this as more things develop. There are several long-term issues that we will be addressing as a committee this coming year, including we're going to reimagine the plantings in the large flower pots at the building entrances. Right now there are large sort of evergreens that are kind of exploding out of their pots. and we're gonna refigure that to feature more plants and flowers than trees. We're gonna be evaluating the installation of beehives on our property to increase support for the pollinators, because we've gotta have a lot of bees to pollinate that big meadow out there, as well as all of our plants. We will also be discussing how the maturing trees on our property can be managed to maximize the views from resident balconies without removing trees. And we have gotten resident comments on this, and we're taking a look at it. Finally, we also had resident suggestion about labeling plants in the garden so that people would know what they're looking at. And we are going to address that in the committee this year. Last but far from the least, with the addition of the sustainability responsibilities and just natural personnel turnover, we have openings on the Environment Landscape Committee for several new members. So if anyone is interested in joining to help us make these coming next year's new projects happen, please put a note in the Environment Landscape Committee box in the mailroom or contact me via Cubigo. I'd love to talk with you. Thank you.
Finance Committee, Nancy.
One page, double-spaced, 18 font. Fast. The members of the Finance Committee, the mission of the Finance Committee is to represent the residents of Mercy Ridge in discussions with Mercy Ridge management about matters that have or will have a financial impact on the residents of our community. Unlike finance committees and other organizations, our Council Finance Committee has no power nor authority over any Mercy Ridge financial activities. Mercy Ridge Retirement Community is a separate, nonprofit entity. The Residents Council and its subsidiary committees, including the Finance Committee, are not part of this total nonprofit entity. Mercy Ridge graciously welcomes the Council Finance Committee discussion, but is not obligated to follow its suggestions nor discuss its confidential business. Likewise, the Residents Council is not responsible for any of Mercy Ridge's financial actions. So much for that. Our committee members very recently received copies of the 2024-2025 Independent Auditor's Report and financial statements, 30-some pages. Our committee will be reviewing this long and informative document for discussion at our next meeting. We'll talk about it in more detail at our next quarterly meeting. If you have any questions about the Finance Committee or its related activities, please get in touch with any of our members. Eileen Bosley, Sam Fish, Richard Ruggieri, Bob Sanford, Dan Tracy, Jackie Troutman, Dave Wagner, Claire Rossi, the outgoing committee secretary, and Brenda Dandy, the incoming committee secretary, Charles Blair, our liaison, or me. Thank you.
Our Library Committee, Evelyn. You want me to bring the microphone to you? Sorry. Why don't you bring the microphone? You got it. She's on a roll.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, on behalf of the Library Committee members and all the Mercy Ridge residents who love and use the Macaulay Library, I'd like to express our deepest gratitude for management's decision to keep the main library as it is when other changes are made in the second phase of the master plan. Thank you for preserving this very valuable asset at Mercy Ridge. In November, the committee welcomed our newest member, Pat Brand, who is working with Jean O'Shea in the Shannon Library. If any of you have an interest in working with our browsing collections, please give me a call and we'll discuss what all is involved. In 2026, the Library Committee hopes that you will continue to read and travel in your mind to places near and far where you can meet all kinds of interesting people and experience life vicariously from different perspectives and times. Thank you.
Scholarship Committee, Claire Rossi.
Good afternoon. The mission of the Mercy Ridge Scholarship Committee is to raise funds for grants to be awarded to outstanding student members of the dining services staff. The purpose of these grants is to recruit competent, responsible young people, retain them in their positions, reward their outstanding job performance, and encourage their future education. This year, 13 seniors met the criteria to earn a scholarship award of $11,500. The Scholarship Committee annual fund drive ended September 15th. The fund drive raised $88,875. This is a 36% increase from the prior year. We tried to analyze and pinpoint any one thing that may have caused that, but in reality, there were too many things that contributed to that fantastic outcome, and we're really pleased to be able to pass that money along next year. I hope to at least 13, if not more, scholars. I thank all of the residents for very, very much for what they did for this worthy fund. Looking forward, the committee is adding 4 new members, 3 of whom are new residents, and they have a lot of energy and good ideas. We're adding some new positions to engage our new members in more fundraising and promotion. Increased emphasis will be placed on vendor donations. We thank you for your ongoing support and hope that 2026 will be a very exciting year. Thank you very much.
Special events and trips, Veronica.
Good afternoon, everyone. The mission of the Special Events and Trips Committee is to assist the Director of Residential Services in providing opportunities for residents to participate in trips, entertainment, and special events that enrich the cultural life at Mercy Ridge. The committee also evaluates suggestions and gives feedback regarding trips and programs. Our special events on campus here in the PAC mostly include the grassroots country singer Gary J, the President and their First Ladies presenting the Fords, bandionist and tango composer Emmanuel Trujillo, at the end of summer luau with steel drummer Mike Cook, living classrooms and skipjack Sigsbee talk, We had pianist Fred Moyer and pianist Tom Hecht, all in September. In October, we had the Ain't Misbehavin' Big Band, the Chorus of the Chesapeake, and the Baltimore County Senior Swing Band. In November, we had the Middle River Concert Band, a patriotic program with Tony Nalker and Bob McDonald, and we had music by the Borisevich Duo. We also go off campus, and our trips included the B&O Railroad Museum, 2 Orioles games, one against Pittsburgh and one against Tampa Bay. We had 2 dates to afternoons at the movies to see Downton Abbey and the new Wicked movie. We had a cruise on the 6B Skipjack, a trip on the Colebrookdale Railroad train ride, an outing to the Gettysburg outlets, and the Christmas show at the American Music Theater, as well as Noah at the Sight and Sound Theater. Our future is just around the corner, as we will be going to the holiday brass concert at the Cathedral of Mary Our Queen and the $1 Million Quartet Christmas show at the Majestic Theater in Gettysburg. And we are finalizing plans for our New Year's Eve celebration in the PAC. Please check the news flash on Friday evenings for the latest events and sign-up information. That concludes my report.
We will now have our executive director's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's 2:53, so bear with me for a few minutes. I know that I'm not the last speaker. All right, well, first of all, I want to let you know that my reports are all available on Cubigo under Leadership Reports, so no need to take notes, and there'll be no quiz after my presentation today. I know that we've been having issues on 970. We're recording today's presentation, and that too will be on Cubigo for you to review, or your friends who are not here today. We are looking at trying to get the components of the system that have failed replaced. It is going to be a big project, so we did have a company come out and look at it to see if we can make repairs to 970, and unfortunately, it's past the point of being able to be repaired. We have 3 companies who have been submitting proposals to us on upgrading the equipment that needs to be replaced. Not everything needs to be replaced, but this is a big project that was not funded this fiscal year, so we are going to try to find a way to complete the work this fiscal year with the finance department. So again, I apologize for 970 being out of service. I'm just going to move through my report pretty quickly. I think as everyone heard, there's so many wonderful things happening at Mercy Ridge. We certainly could not do it all without the residents. Everyone contributes so much to the success of Mercy Ridge in creating the Mercy Ridge experience, but also referring your friends to join us here at Mercy Ridge. Our residents are our strongest advocates, as you heard from Rich Compton and others today, in helping to keep us strong as a community. So thank you all so much for supporting our marketing and sales efforts. Overall, our occupancy is just under 98%. We're at 97.8%, so just a couple points away from that 98% that Rich mentioned. Our independent living is at 98%. We have 2 available apartments and 3 that are reserved with 10% deposits. St. Stephen's Green, up in assisted living, we're at 94% occupancy. We have 2 apartments that are on hold, and Dublin Court continues to be 100% occupied. We met our 3 new leaders earlier at the beginning of the meeting, Kenya, Doug, and Brandon. I'm thrilled to have them here. They've really started out strong. in the short amount of time that they've been here, and I've been getting rave reviews from the leadership team members and other staff who've met them, and I hope many of you have had the opportunity to meet them already. If not, please join me in welcoming them to our wonderful community. I did also want to let you know the Director of Environmental Services position, we are recruiting for that position still, and in the short amount of time we've been recruiting, I already have 67 applicants as of today. So there's a strong interest out there. Unfortunately, not all the people applying meet the criteria that we're looking at. Only a small number do. Generally, we get inundated with applications here at Mercy Ridge. So I'll keep you posted on our recruitment efforts for the director. With regards to the Mercy Ridge Master Plan, again, I just want to acknowledge all the residents who have had a hand in making choices for project number 1. It was really a great collaborative project. The residents have even looked at the artwork package without me that was being proposed by THW Design. And that's the level of confidence I have in the people who live here who have been contributing to this project. We have finished the 7th floor and the 6th floor, I should say pretty much finished. There's still a few things that we're working on. As you know, we're looking at artwork, as I mentioned, and furniture that will be added. And we're looking at the furniture arriving sometime in February. And at that point, we'll start replacing furniture on the floors that have been completed in Liffey. And we have quite a few people already asking for furniture from Liffey that will be replaced. So I haven't forgotten about you. Also, we did do the punch list on the 5th floor, and that project looks good up there on the 5th floor. Again, we've got some additional work to do after the punch was completed on Monday, and so we'll be getting that done. I also want to mention that there have been comments from some people about the shelves outside your apartment doors that are being painted. And if you live in Liffey and you're on floors 7 through 4, or if you've been up there to take a look at the work, you'll notice that some of the shelves are white and some of the shelves are taupe colored that match the handrails. We have had a challenge with the shelves with paint chipping off of them. And so we've been working with the paint company. They've been out, they've been trying some different products that are a little bit, I guess, more forgiving. But we have not made a decision yet on which paint color we're going to go with. A lot will depend on what we find out from the paint company with the products they're looking at. But at this point, I'll tell you that we are leaning towards switching the shelves from the taupe color to the white color. I think it'll be a much more neutral base, if you will, for decorating your shelves and things like that. And if there are some chips off the shelf, it won't show like it does now with the taupe color. So I think it's a good change, and so we're working towards that goal. With regards to the Commons main level, this second project that we've been talking about, I do want to just caution everyone that we are still working through this plan. There are many people involved so far from a staff and consultant and LCS development perspective in looking at what we're planning for project number 2. It's very exciting. There's a lot of opportunities that are looking really good at this point. I had a meeting literally right before I walked into this meeting today with that team. And so it's really a work in progress. Tomorrow, Michael Wagner, culinary director, and I are driving up to Lancaster, Pennsylvania to go to the offices of one of the companies that's involved in looking at this from the dining perspective. They've worked with all of the senior living communities with their dining room redecorating, remodeling, reimagining projects here in this market, and they've worked with many senior living communities across the country. They also work in other industries like higher education and things like that. So an amazing company. We're looking forward. Michael and I are calling it Santa's Workshop to go up tomorrow and see the world of possibilities at Scopus of what they're doing today in senior living, and look forward to grabbing some good ideas from our visit tomorrow. So project number 2 basically covers, as I said, the commons here. This whole floor, we're looking at making improvements from the porte cochere out in the front, through the courtyard and all of the rooms that we currently have. There are no guarantees that all of the rooms will stay the same as they are currently, because we are going to be upgrading everything, and we're also looking to add some new things, some new features, a new room even. Out in the courtyard, we're looking to put an all-season room that can be opened up during beautiful weather or closed during inclement weather. And also looking at an outdoor bar area that will have some cooking possibilities to replace the tiki bar, which is getting a little shaky these days. So we are looking to do some really amazing upgrades out in the courtyard area, which is really a crown jewel, I think, for Mercy Ridge right outside the front entrance. So a lot still to do on that, but we are moving along quickly. The construction schedule for project number 2, we're looking at November of next year, and that project would likely be completed in December of 2027. The St. Stephen's Green common area renovations, we've managed all that in-house with Mike Highland, Mike Marici, his new name, overseeing that project, and it looks great up in assisted living if you haven't been up there. We are still doing some work with accent walls. The dining room is being upgraded with some new chandeliers and artwork, so we're not completely done up there, but it does look fabulous. And let's see what else. The elevator modernization projects, as you know, we did start on Shannon number 4 this week, and it will be completed hopefully in 6 weeks. That's their plan. So we have opened up the elevator, the service elevator that you can access from the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st floors, and we've put signage there to direct you once you get off the elevator as well. So feel free to use the single elevator in the service area. And we are looking at Liffey elevator number 2 starting after we've completed Shannon elevator number 4. We are moving through this. Each project is about $200,000 to complete, so we can't accelerate the work to get all 6 elevators completed. This is a 3-year project that we've mapped out in our financial plan. With regards to the elevator reliability, we are working very closely with Mercy Health Services, and now with Brandon here, having that connection with Mercy has been very helpful. He's been able to draw on some people that work downtown at the hospital. I believe he told me they have 36 elevators down at the main campus downtown. And so they do have someone full-time working at Mercy Medical Center now on elevator issues. We brought a different company out that is a more local company to help with service issues. And they've been out here as well now to help us with some of the challenges we've been experiencing with Otis with repairs. I should also mention Otis has 2 different divisions for their elevator division. One is for the modernization of elevators, and the other is for repairs of elevators. So it's two separate divisions from Otis that are doing this work for us. The other thing I wanted to mention today is that I know that we have had fire alarms going off in Liffey. This is related, for the most part, it's been related to the work that we're doing in Liffey. We did have a meeting last week with the alarm company and went over kind of the situations that we experienced the last time we were working on the fire alarm and fire sprinkler system in Liffey to avoid the frequency of the alarms going off in Liffey. I know that the alarm did go off today in Liffey. I apologize for that, but we are trying to get the alarms turned off as quickly as possible or avoid them altogether from going off. With that being said, I have gotten calls from a couple of residents about the procedures for when a fire alarm does go off. And so in the outside of the pack here on the table that had the agendas, I have two different handouts that I encourage you to pick up on the way out. The first one is about our procedures for when you hear the alarms go off. This is actually included in your resident handbook, so it's there. We've also distributed this information previously, but I do encourage you to take a copy of the document on your way out, and please take the time to read it over. The other handout that I have for you today is just some really helpful reminders about the fact that we're all part of this community, and it's really a partnership that we have in ensuring that we all get through the holiday season with people being healthy. And so I've got some really timely information in the back about our partnership in keeping Mercy Ridge healthy during this holiday season, and that information is also up on Cubico. And then finally, I did get some questions about the wildflower meadow that Ed spoke about in his report. And there were questions about if that was going to be mowed this fall, now that the cosmos and the other flowers are not blooming anymore. And they are planning on mowing the field, which is looking pretty raggedy right now. And that will happen real soon. They are going to be cutting the foliage down to about 6 to 8 inches, which will help spread the seed and prevent thatch buildup. And they're going to be leaving the cut material in place over the winter to protect the developing perennial base. And in the early spring, they'll be completing a spot spraying treatment and following that up with a reseeding visit for any bare spots that they see when they come out to do that. And also, as Ed said, each year it's going to get better from here. And so I look forward to seeing what we have blooming come spring. So until then, I want to wish you all a very happy holiday season. This is the best place to be during this holiday season, in my opinion, and I hope you feel the same way. So God bless you all, and see you around at the parties. All right, Luke.
I hate to say this as my favorite part of this meeting, but it is. We have a presentation of our 2 awards, the Legacy and the Extraordinary Service. What I've asked is the people who wrote the nominations up to please come up, read their nominating letter, and then present the award. So Rich, come on.
Hello again. The Mercy Ridge Extraordinary Service Award honors an individual, couple, or group of people, residents and non-residents, who have done something outstanding and extraordinary that makes living at Mercy Ridge a better and more pleasant place. This award is given no more than once a year, and not necessarily every year. I hope you'll think about the criteria as I begin my presentation. I've always wanted to do this. faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look into the hallways. Is it an electric wheelchair? Is it Santa Claus? No, but it's not even Superman. It's Super Resident Bob Stern. Well, maybe I exaggerated a little bit about the building leaping, but Bob is a very frequent flyer in all of the Mercy Ridge residential buildings, bringing hundreds and more packages to all the people living at Mercy Ridge. He is selfless and tireless in his provision of what I would call quiet stewardship in our community, and he does so with a gentle grace. It is why I nominated and why the board has unanimously voted for Bob Stern to receive the Extraordinary Service Award for 2025. In addition to this unique service to all of us, Bob's efforts also keep clear the administration offices and boardroom clear of packages and looking much more professional. When I called Bob to let him know about this award, he modestly said that he was doing this as a way to stay healthy at his doctor's suggestion. If that be true, it has been a win-win for the community as well. Please welcome Bob as I ask him to come to the podium to receive his award. Mercy Ridge Residents Association Extraordinary Service Award presented to Bob Stern in recognition of your outstanding contributions to the Mercy Ridge community and extraordinary service in the regular, cheerful, and tireless delivery of packages to all residents. Your quiet stewardship is widely appreciated and highly valued by the residents and administration staff alike. With grateful appreciation for your countless hours of service to Mercy Ridge, Luke Yackley, President, Residents Council, December 4th, 2025.
The reason that I did this, after coming here, I wanted a personal responsibility thing to have as a goal. And I have done those deliveries, and I am enjoying the responsibility of doing it every day of the week. Thank you.
And now we have Claire Rossi to give the presentation of our Legacy Award. Claire?
Good afternoon again. The guidelines for the Mercy Ridge Legacy Award is to be given to any resident of Mercy Ridge who is eligible to receive the award if recommended by a fellow resident. Such recommendation may be submitted to the President of the Residence Council at any time during the year. The recommendation must be submitted in writing and shall describe the reasons why the individual identified should receive the significant honor. This justification shall be limited to the individual's unique and outstanding contributions to the community. For this reason, I was very proud and honored to be able to have nominated Jerry Kahn for the Legacy Award. Since arriving at Mercy Ridge, he has been involved in the community, serving on numerous committees such as Employee Appreciation, Finance, Macro, and Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. He is one of 2 residents who serve on the Mercy Ridge Board of Directors, representing residents' interests. Even more importantly, Jerry has endeavored to add to the community's joy to be. He filmed and narrated the 20th anniversary slideshow. The annual New Year's Eve party would not be the same without the slideshow created by Jerry featuring the Mercy Ridge committees welcoming the new year and highlights of the year, including his infamous toasts. Jerry has created the Valentine narrated slideshow featuring couples telling how they got together. He assembled the Where They Are Now video featuring scholarship awardees. Bottom line, if you see Jerry heading your direction with a camera, you better slip behind the nearest door or you'll be featured in the next project. Jerry has frequently delivered talks on subjects such as Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, the Kahn Jewish family history, and the history of McCormick. He graciously assists others to prepare their presentations and slides. Jerry has also shared teachings of his religion, holding the first Hanukkah ceremony with lighting of the first candle on December 7th, 2023. The ceremony attracted nearly 100 residents. Activities such as this promote inclusiveness and understanding of others' differences. It is for these contributions and his willingness to continually strive to improve life at Mercy Ridge that Jerry Kahn is deserving of this Legacy Award. Thank you, Jerry. Would you come up here? Ridge Residents Association Legacy Award presented to Jerry Kahn in recognition of your outstanding contributions to the Mercy Ridge community and enduring legacy, which includes service on the Employee Appreciation, Finance, Macro, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging committees, as well as on the Mercy Ridge Board of Directors. Additionally, your slideshows, videos, and informative talks have added to the richness of community life for many years. With grateful appreciation for all you have done for our community, Luke Yackley, President, Residents Council, December 4th, 2025.
Well, thank you very, very much. I have a few remarks. I should be done by 6. First thing I want to say is that a significant part of this award is because of the videos that were done. And I want you to know I was not the only person that did those videos. Those videos were done with my accomplice, my wife of 60 years, and who did a great deal of very hard work with me. She did interviews, she picked music, she wrote script, and so on. And because of her contribution, I want to accept this award in behalf of both Barbara and myself. I want to thank the Residents Council for giving me this award. And I want to thank Claire for nominating me. And I'd like to thank David Denton and Sarah Wyatt, both of whom have been very supportive of everything Barbara and I always did. And now I'm going to tell you a story that you know nothing about. Most of you know nothing about. I want to thank Patty Yingling, who gave me a chance to do some marketing, something I never did before. It turns out, you remember, we had 2 years of COVID. During that time, the planet that we live on stopped turning. And Patty called me in. She said, we have residents who are hesitant to move into Mercy Ridge because of the challenges of COVID. Would you do a video to encourage people to move in? And I did. And for some reasons that I absolutely cannot remember now, I even did a second video. So we did 2 videos, and I hope they made a difference. I suppose they might have made a difference. After all, for the 8 years that I've lived here, the occupancy rate has always been in the high 90s. So at the very least, they didn't do any harm. So that was good. And with that, I want to thank each and every one of you who for the past 8 years have been great friends and great neighbors to me, to Barbara, and to my and I repeat, my very good friend, Lori Langhoff. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I feel like Moses.
Claire, did you grab mine and? Thank you for your attendance and thank you for your patience. Do we have any questions or comments from the audience? Yes.
First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for the great job that you do here.
Okay, we got a microphone coming.
Jim Burke, look at Oh, the microphone, okay. I don't know where I'd be without the microphone. But again, thank everyone. But my question is with regard to the master plan. A lot of people have raised the question why they're doing as much as they're doing, replacing things that a lot of people think do not need replacing. And in recognition of the fact that the elevator is in such bad shape, one question may be why that's 3 years away when there's other things being done that could very easily wait the 3 years while they fix the elevator.
Okay, that's your question.
That's it.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Is he going to get an answer? Is he going to get an answer to his question?
He got to ask the question.
She's asking if someone's going to answer the question.
I think it's a multiple phase answer. I don't think anybody has enough time right now. If there's something specific you want to address, there's the Building and Maintenance Committee. There is other avenues here. Please use them. Yes.
Let me make a comment in regards to that because that came up last year and the year before as we were talking about this very issue. And the way I approached it was, it's a matter of You know, like when we were all in our houses, you have to keep up with, you know, doing the maintenance and the renovation. It's a matter of, the phrase I used last year is that you repair the roof while the sun is shining. The sun is shining right now on Mercy Ridge. We have high occupancy, high resident satisfaction, and we have the money in our investment accounts. Other communities, our competitors are doing the same thing. They're doing the renovations, they're doing the modernization. You have to do that to keep up with the market, to keep our occupancy up, and also to protect our investments. It's not as if the elevators are being ignored, they are being worked on. The plan is in place, and it's taken a long time to do that, not because we're delaying, but because it takes a long time for the elevator company to do it, and you have to plan it out. So I think it's a valid question, and I know a lot of people have asked it, but it's important that we keep in mind that these other factors, particularly a matter of competition, occur. And also, you know, over the last couple of years that we've been here, you see the need for renovation. You see things breaking down and being repaired. So it's not a new process, it's an ongoing process.
Any other questions from the floor? Hearing none, our next council meeting will be January 8th, 2026. Meeting adjourned.